right, let me get here. Play a little music to start with. Everybody gets tuned in. Turn that off. I got double noise. Oops, except I turned my music off. I mean to turn my music off. All right, let's try that again. We'll start over. Well, good evening, anybody who's tuning in. I'm Curtis Lee. This is the Gen X Files. Everybody comes on tonight. Sometimes I get people, sometimes I don't. I'll do this one way or the other. Hey, Joe Daisy, good to see you. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. I'm doing okay. How are you? I'm gonna play a little music until we get going. See if this works or not. I know, I appreciate you. When I first started doing these, though, I'd do them sometimes, though, and I wouldn't have nobody, and I'd just sit there and talk to myself. That was okay. I did them. I did them anyway. Can you hear the music? Does this sound okay? This is an experiment. There's not very much music that you can use out of the YouTube library to play on live streams, but there is a little bit. So I've got a couple things I'm going to experiment with. You can hear it? Okay, good. Great. What is this thing called? This song has a name. It's called Sarah the Instrumentalist, Kicking It with Aliens. So I figured that'd be a good song to start off the Gen X Files. Did you have a good week, Joe Daisy? Let's see. I feel like I'm struggling with the technology tonight. Well, I got a couple of stories I'm going to tell you guys tonight. Like I said, we're going to try an experiment. Let me cut this back a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. We'll dial this down a little bit. I'm going to do an experiment tonight to see if I can. I'm doing all right. I've been playing around trying to figure out if I can play music on the live stream or not. There's not a whole lot of music available on the YouTube. You know, if you play music on live streams, they whack you with copyright strikes. And even the stuff that's part of the library that's shareable, they only want you using it in long form videos. They don't want you using it in live stream. There's a whole pile of music that I can use, well-known music that I can use in videos, but they don't want you using it in live streams for some reason. I guess because it's harder to keep track of the revenue on a live stream and figure out where it's supposed to go. Do I know anyone in Lee County? No, I don't know anyone in Lee County. Is that in Virginia? I assume that's in Virginia. Well, let's see here. Let me go ahead and get. So the first thing I was going to do tonight was I was going to go through a little bit of evidence I had from an old investigation at Old South Pittsburg Hospital. This was years ago. So let me read you guys the information about Old South Pittsburg Hospital first. It is down in Tennessee, in Old South Pittsburg, Tennessee, which is the home of the Lodge Frying Pan Company, I think. Yeah, I'm in Virginia. I'm not in West Virginia. West Virginia is right on the other side of the mountain. I could actually see West Virginia from here because there's a little bit of West Virginia that's on the side of the town. So, but I'm close. Probably 30, maybe 30 minutes from the state line. Right, like I said, it's right at the top of the mountain. I can see the top of the mountain over here where the state line is. So let's see. So Old South Pittsburg Hospital, it's called the Haunted Old South Pittsburg Hospital Paranormal Research Center in South Pittsburg, Tennessee, and it's widely considered one of the most active paranormal locations in the state. Long before the hospital was constructed, the land was utilized by Native Americans in the late 18th century, drawn to the natural limestone spring that flows directly beneath the property into the Tennessee River. The local lore suggests the property served as a base for Union soldiers during the bloody Battle of Chickamauga, adding an early layer of conflict and tragedy to the site. And the 6,800-foot facility opened its doors in 1959 to serve the growing community's medical needs. And over the next several decades, it underwent various physical expansions before ultimately closing in 1998 due to shifting demands, after which remaining patients were transferred to Chattanooga. And after sitting empty for several years, the building was purchased by paranormal investigators and converted into a research facility that regularly hosts public and private overnight ghost hunts. I actually did a 48-hour lockdown there. I was locked in there for 2 days straight. That was an experience. That was one of my first ghost hunts too. So it was creepy getting locked in a building for 2 days and not getting to get out. So that was strange. Oh, okay, cool. That's good. It's probably not far from here. I can't exactly remember where Lee County is. For some reason, I'm thinking it's over on the other side of the mountain, down a little bit, like where Campbell County is. I'll look at the map later when I get off here, look and see. So that was. Let me go back. Let's go to the next page on the hospital. Says paranormal activity reported. It says investigators frequently report seeing dark, freestanding shadow figures, most notably a menacing 7-foot tall shadow man believed to be a former surgeon. Is regularly seen on the 3rd floor and is said to audibly command visitors to get out. And that's who I'm going to play the audio on that I've got, the Shadow Man of Old South Pittsburg. I've got one of the cleanest audio clips on him ever. I'm going to play that for you here in a minute, but I wanted to read you some of the history for. So that's their history. He is part of their history. It says that since its operational days, employees and visitors have witnessed heavy equipment, medicine carts, hospital beds, and wheelchairs moving entirely on their own down the dark corridors. And the ghost of an elderly woman and a helpful female nurse frequently encountered on the 2nd floor, while an intelligent spirit of a young girl named Buddy is known to interact with investigators on the lower floors by trying to entice them to play. The empty halls are known for distinct disembodied voice, unexplained hissing sounds, and even the sound of crying babies and near electronic phenomenon captured on recording devices. So let me play this clip I got for you guys on the Shadow Man of Old South Pittsburg. Let me pull this up here. I'm struggling with the technology tonight. Let's see. I need to go to date modified, and then I need to go to the top. Let's see. Let's see if this works. I need to turn the volume back up. All right, that's the top of the volume. All right, so I'm going to play a little bit. I'll talk a little bit about, on the video that I'm going to play, I talk a little bit about him, then you'll be able to hear him, I think, hopefully. Good evening, everybody. It's Curtis. I appreciate everybody's tuning in. Out of Pittsburg Hospital in Old South Pittsburg, Tennessee. There's a spirit there known as Shadow Man. And while that's okay, Joe. There with a group called Shenandoah Valley Paranormal Society, I captured his voice, and he answered me very clearly. So I wanted to show you guys that video. Here it is. What's your name, sir? Are you Shadow Man? Right here? I'm gonna play him again. And he answered me very clearly. Hearing so right here. That video. Here it is. What's your name, sir? Are you Shadow Man? Right here? Anyway, so yeah, that was him. He answered me really clearly. He was supposedly a doctor at the hospital. I think he was maybe pedophile or something. Did some bad things to some kids. That's really all I know about him. But anyway, very spooky place. And he seemed to be basically stuck on the floor that he was on. He couldn't really go anywhere else. So anyway, that was him, Shadow Man. Yeah, y'all good night. That was Shadow Man. So I don't know if y'all heard that. If you didn't get it, rewind it and listen to him. I asked him if he was the Shadow Man. He said, I'm right here. Let me give you a little bit more background on that, and then I've got a cool thing we're gonna do from the old Art Bell show. We got some Bigfoot stuff we're gonna listen to. So let me get back to my. This is the only thing I actually have to read tonight. The rest of it's all audio. And so I fed Google AI the video, and so this is what it said about it. It says, yes, in the video, the investigators had a man ghost at the haunted Old South Pittsburg Hospital. And it says, the investigator highlights a clear audio recording where he directly asked the entity for its name and distinct voice response at 31 seconds. That's where he said, I'm right here. Legend, he notes, the local lore identifies a particular shadow figure as a former doctor at the hospital who allegedly committed horrific acts against children. And the video mentions that the spirit appears to be permanently stuck on the specific floor of the hospital, unable to leave. And I told it, said that, yeah, I'm the investigator. I'm Curtis Weimer. And it says, oh, great to connect with you, Curtis. It says, it's not every day I get to chat directly with the person behind the investigation video I'm analyzing. The EVPs captured you shared from Old South Pittsburg Hospital is a really well-known piece of audio among people who follow the paranormal history of that building. And it says, capturing that kind of activity during the daytime lockdown is incredible. Finding solid evidence like doors, and I had gone through some other stuff that happened there. So I've got an Old South Pittsburg Hospital playlist. It's got a bunch of stuff in it y'all can look at. Yeah, he's stuck there. He's stuck there, Joe Daisy. He can't seem to go anywhere. He can't seem to go anywhere else, or he doesn't want to, or he's scared to, or I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, he seems to be kind of bound there. So I saw a big, probably softball size orb in the basement. I did not get to film it. I looked down and realized my camera was off. I had quite a few experiences though, and a couple different voices. One spot when I first had contact with him, he made a noise that I could hear, and he said "ups," and I had the spirit box on. You hear him say "ups" through the spirit box. That was a good one. But anyway, it says finding solid evidence like doors moving on security cameras, softball-sized orbs, exactly why locations like Old South Pittsburg have such an intense reputation. It says, I was able to locate your dedicated Old South Pittsburg Hospital playlist on your channel, Curtis Paranormal. And it was awesome to see all the primary evidence from Black Raven Paranormal's lockdown archived together. And I think it was so all this evidence is from 2014. It's from 12 years ago. So if you get a chance, look on my channel and look for the Old South Pittsburg Hospital playlist. It's got some cool stuff in it. But I'm going to play one more clip from there. It says, having whispers and footsteps going off constantly in an empty building during the middle of the day must have been a wild experience. And I've got one more piece of audio I'm going to play you guys from there. And this is Marty, the guy that runs Black Raven Paranormal. That's the group I went with. So, anyway, they didn't like Marty. Seemed like Marty less than they did me. So I'm going to play this for you and let you listen. Let's listen to what they did to him. They were harsh on him.
We're not trying to be rude. We don't understand if we're annoying you or you enjoy our company.
So, all right. So he's the first thing. So he said, anyways, the first thing he said was F you. And then he said, you're amusing. I'm gonna play that again so y'all can hear it.
We're not trying to be rude. We don't understand if we're annoying you or you enjoy our company.
That was one part of the raise, wasn't it? It was something. You want to say that again? We didn't understand you. It was one part of the raise, wasn't it? It was something. It was one part of the raise, wasn't it? It was something.
Go home. Anyone is up there.
You want to say that again? We didn't understand you. We're sorry. Go.
Go.
You want us to go?
He said go a couple times. He also said F you again there in the middle of it. I don't know if y'all heard that. Well, let me check back in here on the chat. That's okay, Joe Daisy, if you didn't interrupt me. Yeah, that's he's bound to hell as purgatory. So could you hear that okay? Could you hear the voices other than ours? That was Marty talking at first. And like I said, they did not like Marty. they clowned Marty bad. I'm gonna play that one more time, let it go all the way through and not interrupt it, just let y'all hear it without me talking. Let's do it one more time.
We're not trying to be rude, we just don't understand if we're annoying you or you enjoy our company.
One part of the raise, there was something. You want to say that again? We didn't understand you. We're sorry. You said no? Got it.
You want us to get?
Yeah, it's the same voice every time. You listen to it, it's the same voice every time. So anyway, it's a radio station. Plus, that's it. I should have brought that box in here. So that was captured on this digital. That's actual digital record audio. I didn't even have a camera back then, so that's actually off the digital recorder. This recorder, probably still on here. Most of the audio from all my old investigations is on this digital recorder. Wear headphones. If you get a chance later, Joe Daisy, if you got headphones, it's easier to review audio if you got headphones on. And that's as loud as I could get it without being able to actually patch it directly in to the stream. And I don't really have a way to do that. I'm not very high tech. But if you get a chance, like I said, go to the Old South Pittsburg Hospital playlist on my channel. And there's a whole bunch of videos on there. Most of it's audio. There's not much. I did have a little Bell and Hal, but it was the first investigation I ever used it on. And I had a lot of trouble with it. It would only stay on for like 10 minutes and it would cut off because the batteries went dead and I didn't have a battery pack. So it was complicated. So that was Old South Pittsburg Hospital. Like I said, I think I'm on the wall of fame down there. I spent 48 hours locked in that building. It was quite an experience. Well, I hope everybody's doing okay tonight. I appreciate everybody just tuning in. I'm not doing very good paying attention to the chat tonight. I'm sorry. I just kind of dove right into the it's an old stoplight, or fake stoplight that my mom gave me. And I thought it'd be cool. I watch all these other streamers and stuff, and they seem to have all kinds of cool looking stuff behind them. So I figured I'd try to jazz the stream background up a little bit. All right, well, let me get to the next thing. So the next thing is, I thought we'd go through I've got some old, I downloaded an old episode of Dreamland with Art Bell. And I'm not going to play the whole recording. I tried to do that back in the day and realized that they've got Art Bell's voice copyrighted. So this is a short clip. It's mostly Linda Howe and the guy she's interviewing. I think you hear Art's voice like one time at the end. I'm going to play that. I'm sorry, Joe Daisy. It must be a slow night tonight. It's also a week. It's also a pretty day, so there's probably not that many people online. And I've been hitting the algorithm hard with videos this week, so it might not reward me with a bunch of viewers tonight. It might leave me stuck in purgatory. But what I found with live stream is a lot of people come back and watch it later, so that's always pretty cool. Well, let me get to this Art Bell piece, and let me close the stuff already. I don't need that anymore. We did the Shadow Man. Like I said, if you get a chance, I know it's hard to hear on the stream. If you get a chance, go to later on, go to the Old South Pittsburg folder, and it'll be there. All right, let me see here. Oh, screen recording. All right, there we go. All right, so this is going to be, I hope this isn't too loud. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. All right, so this starts off, this is I think it happened in 1978, but I'm not sure. You'll hear them say in the clip when it is. Question, add a Q&A. I'm getting these things on my phone that are talking about ads and stuff. Do that. Well, let me put. So the first thing is a noise that this person had a UFO Bigfoot experience. They claimed that they saw, I guess, Bigfoot and a UFO at the same time. So the first part of the audio is what the UFO apparently sounded like, and then you'll hear the guy and Linda Howe come in and she's interviewing him about the event. And then I'm going to stop it, and then there's some audio that he claimed was a Bigfoot. But let's listen to the UFO and what they got to say first. Yeah, I like the show too. We didn't really I don't remember it being on the air here really, but it was probably an AM. I don't know. It was probably an AM show, and I didn't really listen to AM, so that probably was part of it. Well, let's do this. So, like I said, the first noise is supposed to be a UFO. This is a UFO, supposedly.
No, there have been all sorts of UFO sightings in the area, and the whirring noise that was heard in the valley was heard right up to that time.
That Steve Unselman recorded.
Right, Steve Unselman recorded it. His situation was interesting. He was alone, and all sorts of things were going on at the time around him, and he had absolutely no support from anyone, although his neighbors reported it, including the Willifords. Linda Williford told me at once when I got there that her folks had come to visit, and while they were driving out of there in the pitch of night, this loud whirring noise followed their car and scared the wits out of them.
When did they start hearing the Bigfoot or Sasquatch sounds, and did she see one of the animals in and around the time that she actually recorded one?
Oh, yeah. The sounds actually started, I believe, in 1977. Mrs. Williford was fairly isolated there. Her husband worked nights, and she was left alone frequently. As a matter of fact, on the full recording, you could hear her frantically dialing the telephone. And because she was trying to get connected to her neighbors across the valley to ask them if they heard anything and just to get a friendly voice. But her husband worked nights, and she was left alone there often. One night, she finally had it. The scream was right across the road from where she lived. She lived in a little mobile home there. Apparently, it was a single-wide mobile home. And she threw the door open, and the creature was standing literally right across from her door looking at her. And
how did she describe it?
Well, she described it as kind of an auburn color, very tall, very broad, typical Sasquatch or typical Bigfoot description.
Long hair?
As a matter of fact, it was long hair, somewhat long. I mean, we get reports of hair length anywhere from, a foot long to just a few inches.
Mm-hmm. And what about the face? Did she describe anything unusual about the face?
Yeah, she did. And this was what I found to be very interesting. The face was the eyes were almond-shaped, wide apart, and glowing red.
And they were glowing red.
Glowing red, so luminous. Now, self-luminous. Now, we're not talking about reflectivity, but these were self-luminous, sort of a bioluminescence kind of thing, and this was very clear to her. She could see it clearly, saw the eyes glowing. They moved a little bit. It stunned her. She turned on the porch light. They had a fairly bright one there, and that's when she got a pretty good look at the overall figure. Arms were long, almost to the knees. It had one arm up on a tree, I believe she told me, and it just stood there. Now, there have been mutilations in the area. As a matter of fact, Linda Williford told me about one, and there had been down fencing. Things you mentioned all had occurred there in that spot. So something definitely was going on. You could feel it in the air. I mean, it literally rippled,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So could you hear that, Joe Daisy? Could you hear what they were saying? Was that clear enough? Like I said, this is an experiment tonight to see whether I could actually do this or not. I wasn't sure if I could play. Like I said, I don't have any way to patch. I'm not fancy. I don't have any way to patch audio into the stream. So that was the guy's experience. The next thing I'm going to play is I'm going to let you hear the Bigfoot noises. And then I've got a song I'm going to play. We're going to take a little break and I'm going to play a song. And then I've got one more story for you guys. Somewhat. All right. I'll have to figure out some way to do that better. It might not work then. Somewhat. Okay. Well, and if you're trying to keep up with the chat, you might not be sure. I'm gonna watch it again and see what it sounds like too. So, like I said, this was an experiment. I can't figure out any way to, like I said, to actually patch the music like right into the stream. So I'm basically having to play it. So anyway, let's listen to the Bigfoot noise. We'll hear what the Bigfoot noise sounds like, and then I'm gonna play a song, and then I've got one more story that hopefully we can hear. But this is Bigfoot coming up.
And now, all right, I'm going to play these 1978 to 79 excerpts of this high-pitched, eerie scream that she and the neighbors associated with the presence of the Bigfoot. And it is difficult. You're going to hear a kind of constant understatic, which I think was the fact that she had a not very expensive tape recorder that she was trying to pick up these sounds, but you will hear this very high-pitched, very bizarre sort of screaming above the lower noise that I think is her tape recorder. And here we go now.
All right, maybe the sound of Bigfoot. Jeez. Now that one gave me the willies.
Yes. Did that translate out pretty well?
Oh, yes. That translated just fine. Whatever that was, Linda, I don't want to be anywhere near it.
Well,
all right. So that was the Bigfoot noise from the old Art Bell show. Just when I'm sitting outside. So, yeah, it sounded like a wild man screaming to me. I don't know. That was weird. There's something screaming. Or a dog with his foot caught in a trap. I don't know. I'm not sure. So anyway, that was a little clip from Art Bell's Dreamland. I think I'm okay sharing stuff from Dreamland. The Coast to Coast shows are owned by a company in England. They're really strict on the copyright stuff. You can't play anything from their show because they claim that they copyright or not even the show itself or any of the music or anything. Art Bell's voice, just his voice. They don't care. They don't seem to care about anything else on the show. They just care about his voice. But this is from Dreamland, so hopefully it's okay. I'm gonna play a song real quick. I'll probably lose everybody I've got in the chat, but I'm gonna play. Well, it's a shame nobody else is chatting tonight. I'm not sure what we got going on here. But anyway, I got a song I was gonna play. Let me close some of this other stuff up because it's more stuff I got open, the slower this computer runs. All right, and I'm gonna play some music tonight. This is probably offensive too. All right, let me I gotta sort by type so I can find it. There it is. All right, I'm gonna play a song. We'll see if I can play music on here or not. We'll have a little chill session, then I'll do the last story.
I'll never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always
always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. The consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead of say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off and knowing I gotta make it. I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I never several ages of making. Modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate things, I'll always show up.
All right, cool. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of music. There's a lot of instrumental music I can play on here, but I can't really play songs with words. There's a few, but there's not much. I'm gonna look around and see what else I can find. So that was one of the ones I found. Like I said, the music that I use in the recorded streams, I can't use in the live streams, which is a shame. It's some good stuff. Watch some of the new music videos I did if you guys get the chance. All right, so I've got one more thing tonight. Looks like I've got time for it before I hit my 45-minute mark. I always like to do about 45 minutes on the stream. Well, I appreciate you tuning in, Joe Daisy. Looks like we didn't get much of a chatty crowd tonight. I've spent a week losing subscribers. I probably dropped 100 subscribers this week. I don't think they like the political videos, but I didn't say anything. I just made a couple videos. You know, there's some songs with some video behind them, and if I upset people over that, I'm sorry, but I grew up in the country where we had free speech and people could say what they wanted to, and that seems like kind of a hard thing these days. Well, let me get to the last story, which is I investigated. Let me put my glasses on here so I can see. I investigated a private home in Norfolk years ago called the Bell House. So that's the name Bell. It's actually not the Bell Witch. It's a different house. Probably about as badly haunted, though. Yeah, the thing is, my channel, I started my channel in, I think if you look at my thing, my channel started in 2008. I've been on YouTube almost as long as there was a YouTube. I actually started off as a real estate channel. So probably a lot of the accounts that originally subscribed to my channel people aren't using them anymore. And I know they're going through and whacking people doing like AI slop and spamming the shorts feed and doing stuff like that. So between people quitting, but I actually had 25 people come on to my channel and actually subscribe to my channel. So something I did made them mad. But I'm doing stuff to be kind of edgy and get people to think and kind of I guess I am kind of intentionally trying to trigger people. So I guess it worked. So right now I'm about even. You know, I've gained about as many. I lose a few more than I gain, but hopefully I'm gaining people who actually like my stuff. And I did kind of go through I've been trying to figure out what to do with the channel. I haven't really been real sure what to do with some of it. So it's been an experiment. Tonight was an experiment. Like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it and see what it actually sounds like. And if you can't hear what I'm trying to show you, I'll have to figure out some other way to do it. But this was an experiment to see. So let me get to the last clip that I'm going to play for you guys. And I downloaded it today so that I didn't have to try to play it while I was trying to stream. Let me find this. Here it is. All right. So one of my early investigations, I investigated a private home in Norfolk, Virginia, where the family was getting attacked by something they couldn't see. Breaking windows and, well, I guess broken mirrors. One of the pictures on the old clip that I have, which all the audio is off of like I said, off of this digital recorder. It's an old Olympus. It's one of the best recorders you can get. I don't know if they still make these things or not, but it was a good little recorder. Anyway, most of the audio comes off of that recorder. Probably, like I said, it's probably still on there. But anyway, this family was getting tore up by, like I said, something they couldn't see. And the house was built right in front of an old cemetery, right in front of the military base. Her husband was in the military. So like I said, the house was, you know, the backyard of the house was basically a graveyard. So anyway, they were having some problems, so I went there to try to help them out. Well, let me play this audio for you, see if y'all can hear it. A hundred of you folks have seen my videos of AI captioning spirit voices from my old investigation. Well, I've got 3 more examples. And the first, you will hear my co-investigator, Sarita, ask a question. And then the response of the spirit voice is AI captioned correctly.
Why are you tormenting this family?
We're trying to help out.
Try to help you out.
Why?
You're not really helping them out and scaring them.
So you heard me repeat what the reply was. And the AI correctly captioned Sarita's response and the spirit's response. Oh, play. Oh, Lord. I did not mean to play. I did not mean to switch the music. All right, let me close that for a second. Oh, I know what I was doing. It's because I was trying to play the wrong thing. Let's see. Greed. Oh, the green. Yeah. Actually, I didn't before, but I do now, or I'm not sure. Now I'm not sure about a whole lot of stuff. Some of the stuff's been coming out lately. I don't know. All this stuff about interdimensional beings and demons and aliens, and so I'm not sure now. That's why I'm kind of going back through all my old evidence and stuff, trying to figure stuff out. All right, let me go back to what I was trying to do. I stopped in the middle of it. Sorry. Let me pull. I don't even know where I was. I got lost. I was. And the AI correctly captioned Sarita's response and the spirit's response. Next, I've got 2 more voices the AI also captioned. The first one is the spirit voices AI captioned correctly. The second one's a little bit more interesting. It's a spirit voice that wasn't me repeating what it said. It repeated what I said. And although it didn't caption it correctly, the fact that it was a voice, an unseen voice, repeating what I said, I think that would be unheard of.
Find a solution. If you're here and you're upsetting them, scaring them, that's not okay.
So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Now I'm going to play the entire video so you can hear the voices that didn't caption. And I'm still glad we were able to help these folks out. They were tormenting these kids and driving this family crazy, and I'm glad we were able to do something to help them. So this is one of my more memorable moments, so I'm glad I can share it with you guys. Y'all have a good evening. and enjoy the rest of the investigation. It's only a couple minutes long. All right, let me stop here and get back to the chat and talk to you guys for a minute. Hello, everybody tuned in. Appreciate you tuning in. So let me play the rest of that evidence clip. Or maybe I should just replay the whole thing because I stopped in the middle of it a couple of times. I appreciate everybody's tuning in. I'm Curtis Lee. Well, actually, I'll just play the thing I'm going to play. So you only hear two other the other voices other than Sarita talks once. Why are you tormenting this family? All the other voices that you're going to hear in this, other than me, are, like I said, I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're demons. I don't know if they're angels. I don't know if they're people that have passed on. I don't know what they are. But let me play the entire evidence clip so you guys can hear that. And that'll be it for that. I'm not going to repeat the whole. Well, let me just play the whole thing again. We got time. Investigations. Well, I've got 3 more examples. And the first, you will hear my co-investigator, Sarita, ask a question. And then the response is a spirit voice that the AI captioned correctly.
Why are you tormenting this family?
We're trying to help out.
Why?
You're not really helping them out, you're scaring them.
So you heard me repeat what the reply was. And the AI correctly captioned Sarita's response and the spirit's response. Next, I've got 2 more voices the AI also captioned. The first one is the spirit voice that the AI captioned correctly. The second one's a little bit more interesting. It's the spirit voice that wasn't me repeating what it said, it repeated what I said. And although it didn't caption it correctly, the fact that it was a voice, an unseen voice, repeating what I said, I think that would be unheard of.
Find a solution. If you're here and you're upsetting them, you're scaring them, that's not okay.
So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Now I'm going to play the entire video so you can hear the voices that didn't caption. And I'm still glad we were able to help these folks out. They were tormenting these kids and driving this family crazy, and I'm glad we were able to do something to help them. So this is one of my more memorable moments, so I'm glad I can share it with you guys. Y'all have a good evening, and enjoy the rest of the investigation. It's only a couple minutes long.
All right, this is Sarita's report. We're going to do a private residence here in Norfolk we're trying to find. Going to have a family out here with some hauntings that they're having.
And that's the thing, I mean, it's hard not to be scared of them because you can't see them. But the thing I try to remember is they're ghosts. They have nowhere near as much energy as you or I do. They're limited by what energy they can suck out of a flashlight or a camera or a phone or whatever. So they don't have a lot of power other than the shock value of it being there. They can't really do a whole lot to you. I mean, they can do things like break windows and turn the flashlight on. Things like that, but there's not a whole lot that they can do to hurt you. I mean, they can scratch you or they can do things like that. But with angels,
Why are you tormenting this family?
We're trying to help out.
Try to help you guys.
Why?
You're not really helping them out, you're scaring them. That was the English guy. I'm trying to help you guys. Okay, sir. We appreciate that. You're trying to help us out. You do something to show why we know you're here. There's 5 of you in town. This is a fellow with an English accent. Can you come back here and talk to us? It sounds like this might be Australian. The Irish. Find a solution. If you're here and you're upsetting them, you're scaring them, that's not okay.
All right. Well, that was a clip. That was a clip. That's probably all I got for the show tonight. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Anybody? Did I lose everybody? Anybody still there? You still there, Joe Daisy? So, anyway, like I said, there isn't a whole lot of sound like a radio feeding in. What brought me into it? I always like to watch the I've been interested in paranormal since I was a kid, really. And I always like ghost stories. I always like spooky stuff. So probably I don't know, after my dad died, well, I lost a whole bunch of people in my family, and then I lost my best friend. He passed away. And I guess that kind of got me into it. I kind of ran out of living people to talk to, so when I started trying to talk to the dead. But now I had a few experiences here and there, and I thought, well, I should investigate this. I wasn't sure. I was kind of skeptical, and I didn't really, I didn't believe in God, didn't really believe in heaven, didn't believe in the afterlife, and didn't believe in a whole lot of anything. And I guess I wanted to know that there was something there, so I decided to go ahead and poke around and see what I could come up with. Yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like on the investigation. Is like they're trying to tune into whatever frequency is coming out of that box, and that box is changing frequency. So it's constantly scanning through radio frequencies. So yeah, that's how I got into ghost hunting. I'd always liked the shows and stuff, and ex-girlfriend of mine was a ghost hunter too. We kind of started investigating together. So that's how I kind of got into it. Yeah, that's like I said, that SB7 spirit box that I've got, it's got the antenna taken out of it. And I run it on FM, so I don't pick anything up. One night I'll set that thing down. We'll do a test on it so I can show you guys that it doesn't really pick anything up. Especially not on FM. On AM, AM signals bounce all over the place, and you can get AM signals from the other side of the world. So there's no point ever running a spirit box on AM. All you're going to get is junk, whether you've got an antenna or not, just because of the difference in the way the radio waves work. FM frequencies don't bounce around the planet like the AM ones do. You can't pick an FM station up from the other side of the world. Yeah, we'll do a ghost test one night. And we can do some tests on some of these apps and stuff and see if we can get anything out of any of them, because they're always interesting. But I appreciate everybody's tuned in tonight, and thank you for being here, Joe Daisy. That's probably all I had for this show. I'll play a little bit of music going out and see how that ends up sounding. Yeah, so I've got two apps. Let me pop up here and tell you what they're called. I've got the Necrometer and the Necrophonic app, which are from the same company. The Necrophonic one I've actually used on an investigation, or the people I investigated with used it. Except they had the older version. On the older version of it, it actually had a setting on it where you could basically turn the app off and then use your phone as a microphone. And hook it to a speaker, and then anything that the phone picked up would come out of the speaker. So we did that on a few investigations and actually got some really weird stuff out of it. Well, I appreciate that. You too, Joe Daisy. Like I said, I'm gonna pop some music out here, and then I'm gonna close the stream act probably. Well, I want to see how this music plays through, if I can find it. And can you hear the music, Joe Daisy? How's the music sound? And like I said, I'm going to close this out after this. Yeah, some of the apps are creepy, mate. Well, we'll use the Necrometer one. All I get out of it is gibberish. Music sounds all right? Okay. I'm going to cut it back a little bit before I can just kind of talk over. so loud. Just let it be background music. Yeah, we can do that next week. We'll do a test on those 2 apps. I think there's a couple more different ones. I'm trying to think of the one. I've got different people I investigated with use different things, and they would usually tell me what they were using. My brain's dying right now, and I can't think of the other app. There's another app that a lot of people use that I've had people suggest to me that I actually haven't used before, but I didn't really want to spend the money on it. I'm starting to wonder about bad things in electronics, because they seem to feed off the energy, so especially the negative side of it. Yeah, I don't like those apps. Some of them creep me out. So I've heard people use them that have just bizarre stuff come out of them, and then go back and use them again, just get nothing but gibberish. So we'll run a test on that one Saturday night and see how it goes. Yeah. Well, if you don't want me to, I won't try them on here. I mean, like I said, I'm not really a fan of them. The only thing I really like to use on investigations is either just running EVP sessions with this, or like I said, running the spirit box. So I've got a bunch of old evidence on here we can go through. Demon told me to get out. Not fun to watch. Okay, you'll watch. All right, I'll do it then. I've got a friend, Para Ann. She was a girl that used to investigate with me in the werewolves, and she said, I asked her one time about demonic entities, and she said, "Well, I want to investigate the demon, but I'll investigate around the demon." And I never was quite sure what that actually meant. How do you investigate around a demon? Yeah. But anyway, so that was the show I had for the night. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for being here, Joe Daisy. Like I said, we had a few other people, but it wasn't like our usual Saturday nights. But hopefully more people will tune in. Yeah, there's negative entities that might not necessarily be demonic, and there's also stuff that tries to act like it's bigger than it is. So you might have some entity trying to puff himself up, trying to make you think he's a demon, and he's really not. I've had an experience like that before, too. Right, exactly. Well, anyway, like I said, that's the show for tonight. I appreciate you being here, Joe Daisy, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now, and then I'm going to go back and watch it and see how it sounds. I have no idea. And if this works, we'll try to do more stuff like this. I want to keep Saturday night kind of an audio kind of talking stream, and then the Wednesday show is going to be pre-recorded, and I can do a lot more with that. And it's a horizontal video. All righty, well, take care. You too, Joe Daisy. You take care too, and I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you during the week. I hope you have a good week. Thank you so much.